Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. This is Nicolin, and you have joined me here at Underneath Her Skin. As always, I am very happy to see you. It's always good to have you join me on this journey. And today I have some amazing people I would love for you guys to meet, dear friends of mine, and I would definitely love to introduce you to them. But before I do that, please hit the like button, the share button, and please subscribe so that you will not miss another video. Let's get into it. Today, I'm here with my friends. As I said, please go ahead and introduce yourself so that my viewers can know exactly who they are talking to.
Sure. So, hi guys. First, let me say thanks for having us on your channel. It's an honor. I am Nyoka Kelly-Campbell, and this is my husband, Reginald Campbell. So yeah, as Nicolin says, we are acquainted. We're great friends. We are members of the same church, Brooklyn Community Church of God, 7-Day. So that's a plus. Yeah, there you have it.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. It is an honor for you to be here for me. So definitely know that I'm very much appreciative of you guys being here. So I know that you are here for a very special reason, and you basically have a story that you'd like to share about something that you've been living with for quite some time. And I just want you to share with our audience here what you have been dealing with, and a little bit about when you got diagnosed and what you learned about.
Okay, so I have been dealing with a disease which is rare. 1 in 5,000, 4,000 to 5,000 women are diagnosed with this disease, and it's called MRKH for short, which stands for Mayer-Rokitansky-Küster-Hauser-syndrome. And those are the names of the individuals that basically diagnosed this disease. It's basically, it's rare, as I mentioned, and it's a defect with your reproductive system. So a woman, they can either be born with a cervix, without a cervix, I'm sorry, with a small uterus or no uterus. They can also have kidney failures. They could also be born without a vagina, without or with the upper part of the vagina, if I must say. So yeah, there are different types. You have 2 types, so, type 1 and type 2. Type 2 is more severe, which has to do with kidney failure, which has to do with spinal defects. So yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing this. I know that it may not be the most, how can I say, it may be hard for you to explain this, but I do thank you for your transparency as we talk about this condition that you have been diagnosed with. Can you share with us, when did you find out you had, it's MRKH, and how, yes?
I found out, well, let's start at the beginning. So I started having monthly pains when I was 11. I've been to many doctors, like a lot of doctors. I'm from Jamaica, and I've been to doctors throughout the entire country, and they couldn't really diagnose what was the issue.
Right.
I was admitted to the hospital for surgery, not knowing what the surgery would have been for. Some doctors thought it was my appendix. Why am I having these pains? But because I was so young, they didn't really understand the dynamics of what was happening, you know? Yeah. So they're trying to rule out a lot of different things, a lot of different issues. Until I was about probably 14, then this one specific doctor in Westmoreland in Jamaica, he didn't know the name, but he basically was saying that I was having my menstrual cycle without actually seeing my menstrual period. So I was having the monthly pains. I was vomiting. It was very severe to the point that I would be out of school for at least 7 days, like every month. Severe to the point where I can definitely recall my dad every month, you know, praying over me and asking God to take the pain from me and give it to him. That's how severe it was.
Very selfless.
Yes. So, but when I found out, when I actually knew the name of or diagnosed with this specific syndrome, it was in I think it was in 2003 or 2005, I'm sorry, when I migrated to the US for school. And I was still having the monthly pains. I went to the doctor, did ultrasound, I did an MRI, I did x-rays, a lot of different things. And that's when they really diagnosed me with MRKH, the Mayer-Rokitansky syndrome for short. So it was a very emotional and daunting feeling, because I love kids. I am very family oriented. I've seen my nieces and nephews grow up. I've taken care of them. I've always dreamed of having kids of my own. Absolutely. So finding that out, I was like, oh my gosh, really, it was draining. It affected me very emotionally. Right? At times I would be by myself. I would cry just thinking about it, not being able to have kids of my own. And then the worst part about it is when I hear the news, of women who are aborting kids, who bring the kids to full term, right, and throw them away, or, just dispose of them any sort of way, that really affected me very much. I'm like, I would question God. I would have questioned God, like, why? Why would you give them that opportunity when they're doing this? But for someone who's so loving, emotional, who wants to have a family, that you give her this specific disease. So it is still emotional.
Yes, I can imagine.
I found out about it. It was very draining.
So tell me, when did you learn that you were diagnosed? I know you mentioned at 11 you started having symptoms, but was there a specific time that you were actually diagnosed? And what type of MRKH do you have?
As I mentioned, it was about when I was 14. I was really diagnosed with what was wrong with me. I found out about the name in 2005 when I migrated to the US, the actual name of it.
Okay.
And what was the other question?
Which type? Do you have type 1 or type 2?
So in the beginning, I actually thought I had type 1, because type 1 is just a mere underdevelopment of the reproductive system. Because I'm not sure if I mentioned, so I have no cervix, I have no upper vagina, and my uterus is very small. I do have my ovaries, which works perfect.
Awesome.
But when I found out in 2015, I thought I had type 1. But then I recently did an MRI, which is like a month ago, and found out that I have a malrotated kidney. And that has to do with type 2. So I'm not sure if it's a type 1 or type 2. I mean, I do have a follow-up with my doctor.
Yes.
Just to get more information. But I guess I'm leaning more towards a type 2, just given the
recent
of my kidney being malrotated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I can definitely, hear and understand, not to the degree where you are, but empathize with you that must be very hard to hear. And to know that we are women. A natural part of being woman is to know that when you grow up at a certain age, natural instincts kick in. You want to have a child. And to know that since you were younger, this was something that was very daunting on you. I can only imagine the emotional turmoil that you may have been facing, or still is today, I should say.
Yeah.
Would you say you've met anyone else who have this condition and how they have dealt with it or is dealing with it?
I haven't met anyone else personally, as in a face-to-face interaction, but I recently, I think it was in December, it just came to me, just to do a quick Google search on if there's a community that's already out there. I did that, actually found a wonderful community that I became a part of. I did one or two Zoom chats with the group where they had different activities, and just to be able to speak about what you're going through.
Yes, a
Just
support
to be
group.
open. Yeah, a
Yeah.
support group. So I found that group, and I also found they also have their Facebook group that I'm a part of. So I am acquainted virtually with women who are currently going through the same situation that I'm going through, or even going through worse, because I've heard stories where there are women that don't have a vagina, so they had to do a surgery, a transplant, and also to they had to be dilated, you know. So yeah, I have been in contact virtually with other women that are a part of a support group for MRKH.
Thank you so much for that. Would you say being diagnosed with MRKH alters you in any way, in the sense where, as women, we have different emotions or different feelings, or we attribute to different things? Aside from the fact that you were not born with a cervix, you do not have an upper vagina, and the other challenges that may come with it. Now, you just mentioned that your kidney may be malfunctioning at some point. Just correct me if I'm wrong. Do you think that there's anything else that you're facing as a woman that is due to this condition?
Anything else that I'm facing? The majority of what I'm facing has to do with the emotional part of it. Just knowing what my desires are and not being able to accomplish or to see my desires come through, not being able to carry my own child.
Right.
That emotional part of it, not being able to bond with that child during pregnancy. That's a big part that's taken a toll on me. But we do have the option in having a family. It's just not the traditional way.
Okay.
We have to go the surrogate way, and that's expensive.
Yes.
So, yeah.
Definitely. Thank you for that. One last question. I wanted to find out, I know that this can be very emotional, and I wanted to ask you, what would you say you do to help you when you just feel like you have no other choice? I know we mentioned that we are faith believers, we go to the same church, but please share with us, because someone else who's watching who may be experiencing some emotional turmoil, who are experiencing something like this or another issue, how would you advise them of some things that they can do that you have done, or you probably still are doing, to help you throughout this process?
Okay, so first let me start out by saying what I have been doing myself. So I mentioned the support group. I reached out to a few support groups, and that has been very helpful. Just knowing that I'm not alone in this, that there are other women that were diagnosed this way. So that's helpful, that they can share their information, be open emotionally, and mentally. What I've also been doing, I've prayed a lot. I'm still praying, because I'm still hoping and having faith that that things will turn around and I'll be able to carry my own child.
Absolutely.
But family has been a big help. My husband has been very supportive. I have a loving family. And I'm thinking, what if I didn't have that type of family while going through that situation when I was a teenager? It would have been probably something different. But I have a loving father, I had a loving mother, my sisters, my nieces, nephews, everyone knew of my condition, knew of my sickness. And they were very supportive. So being able to talk to my sisters and my dad, my mom, everyone about my situation, that was helpful. What has also helped me is I've been living vicariously through other families. Like on YouTube channel, watch YouTube channels with other families with their kids. I get a joy from seeing families enjoying their own family and their own kids,
Absolutely.
seeing how they're growing up, just different activities that they're doing. So I live vicariously through them. And that's, I get a joy from doing that. So I would definitely say to anyone that's going through this, any woman that's going through this, you know, find a support group, find someone that you can talk openly to, share your feelings. If you have to cry, go ahead and cry.
That's okay.
It is okay. You know? Just do things that makes you feel worth it, that even though you're unique, you're still worth it. Self-love, you know, is the key. I just recently learned how to love myself given my situation, because we're from the Caribbean, and there's a stigma where, oh, once you're married, you know, you're supposed to have kids and all of that. And we're married for 10 years now, going on 11 this year. And, you know, people would ask, okay, so when are you going to have kids? That can be daunting on your spirit. So, you know, just having a support group or someone to talk to, that's very helpful. So seek a support group that you can definitely share and open your feelings.
Thank you so much, Nyoka. I really appreciate you for coming on. I appreciate Reggie for being so supportive with you today in your process and what you guys are both going through, because it's not just you. So I definitely want to thank you, and I hope that anyone who is viewing this video will definitely gain insight, and you will find encouragement through listening to Nyoka's and Kelly's story. Thank you so much for watching. And again, please like, share, and subscribe to this channel, and we will see you in the next video. Have a great day. Thank you.
You guys.